Hey Andy. Okay. Sharon. Okay, we'll start. Okay.
Sure.
Awesome. Sharon, we have audience joining us. In the
Okay.
meantime, so we'll wait for them to join. First of all,
Sure.
welcome to Crypto Conversation.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Uh, yeah. So in while people are joining us live, you just concluded the India tour, the UNOCOIN
Yes.
India tour. I think it was a great initiative, to be honest, because that's the kind of education that people in India definitely need, especially
Yes.
because there is so much confusion. What is a cryptocurrency and what is not a cryptocurrency? How was your
Yes.
response? How was your response? Would you like to share? Because you traveled, I guess, 9 or 12 cities.
10 series.
10 cities, yeah. So,
Yes.
yeah, I would love to share, hear your response. How was it? I mean, yeah.
So the whole concept of meetups, right? We take it like really seriously at UNOCOIN because UNOCOIN started from a meetup,
Right,
right?
right,
And we figured out eventually that it's that one place where you can educate people about Bitcoin and you see them face to face, and it's really nice.
right.
So of recently, I think it was on November 25th, I along with Mohit, who is
Yeah,
the founder and CEO of Authority Capital,
yeah.
teamed up and did a pan India meetup, right? So we traveled 10 cities. And you will not believe this, the response was massive. Specifically, to point out Mumbai, Ahmedabad, I had 500 people,
500
right?
people.
People who turned out. So, and we had a venue capacity for just about 200 people. So, at that point of time, we had to get in another venue, shift half of the people, and we had to run two parallel sessions. Same thing happened in Kolkata. We had to run two parallel sessions, right? This kind of tells us one thing, that across different parts of India, the enthusiasm remains the same, right? Even when we went to like smaller cities like Indore, we were surprised to see 200 people turn up. Right,
Oh,
that number
oh.
was a very good number for us, right? Jaipur and places like that. So I think one of the things that I realized out of this is that cryptocurrencies are here to stay, and people want to be well informed. It's not, and you get to meet a lot of people who are not into it just because of money,
Right.
but also into it because of the technology. We meet students who want to do internship. We meet people who are trying to build products on blockchain and stuff like that, or just enthusiast people who just want to understand how the technology works. And I think that's fantastic.
That's amazing because I was happened to attend the Mumbai one, and
Yes.
I came to know that there were people who were actually sent back home. I mean, they were like, it was so crowded that we couldn't take it, but at least we actually managed to take them all in, I guess, for the conference.
Yes.
So that was a massive response. I think we should. That was a great initiative by UNOCOIN. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have 24 people joining us, already
Oh,
joining
that's
us.
great.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. So we have Sharon from UNOCOIN today. So Sharon, UNOCOIN made a very special announcement recently that UNOCOIN is about will be adding more cryptocurrencies, which will eventually going to help the Indian ecosystem and Indian investors to will have give more opportunity to buy more cryptocurrencies, which is a great
Yes.
news. So we're going to
Yes.
talk to him about those stuff. We're going to talk to him about how does he look at the Indian scenario. We'll talk about him about the prices, whatever. I mean, some of the precautions that investors should take when investing into cryptocurrencies and all those stuff. So, again, guys, none of these are actually a financial or investment advice. This is not a financial or investment advice. Please understand, investing into cryptocurrencies are risky, and if you're doing so, please do so based on your own research. So, okay, let's see whom do we have here. So we have Andy, we have Chand, we have Siddharth, Amit. Okay, good. Kumar Gaurav, awesome. Vishal, Chand. Okay, good. Good to have. Thanks for joining, everyone. Sharon, welcome back once again.
Sure. Thank you.
So, before we begin, would you like to kind of give your introduction to everyone for the people who might not know you?
Sure. So I am 26. I joined UNOCOIN back in 2014 in its initial days. I currently work as the vice president for marketing at UNOCOIN. Uh, so one of the things that I really excites me about Bitcoin is to see the whole concept of money getting rebuilt,
Right.
right? And that is not something that I think I would see in a life. I mean, I would have, most people would have got to see in their lifetime, right? So that's pretty much what keeps me on hook with this industry.
Oh my God, this is you. You mentioned a very good point. Like I feel so grateful to be living in this era right now, where I
Yes.
see that transformation happening, that old money changing into the new money.
Yes.
That's such a grateful to be alive, first of all, and of course to be able to contribute to that ecosystem.
So I keep joking around with my friends. I keep saying that I'm so blessed. I'm using the word blessed. I'm so blessed to be time when when I could tell people that I have so many when I was alive moments.
Right, right. Great, and we had some good news from Indian regulations, of course, from the recent budget that happened. But of course, that's a very positive news. I'm very positive that a lot of good stuff coming for India, especially. We do want to talk about the cryptocurrencies that UNOCOIN will be adding, which is a great news. And but before that, the recent FUD, so I think two good things happened. One is definitely there was FUD. So the media pretended to be something else. And I read the tweet from UNOCOIN the other day, right? So this was the tweet, which was very clear that what was the actual statement from the minister and what was it was written by the media. And obviously that caused a FUD. But at the same time, there are some positivity also coming out from the Indian government in the form, in terms of they are going to regulate it soon. So I want to hear first, what do you have to say about the recent FUD that happened? How do you take the entire incident?
To be very honest, it was very unfortunate, right? So we were all sitting at office watching the budget,
Yeah.
right? And we come back and realize that some of the most reputed names in the industry, the media names in the industry, had done a haste reporting, were writing things probably not understanding themselves,
Right.
right? And that sent a wave of panic across people, and people started selling left, right, and center. And then there were people who took the opportunity and bought it. I think this is really dangerous, right? As I feel this is not right. At that moment, what we decided is like, okay, we're going to go out to people and tell them, right? And in fact, some of these guys, like some of these guys on the good side, actually were tweeted out long before saying that, okay, the finance minister is going to say something, the media is going to twist and turn it, so be ready for that.
My goodness, yeah.
So we went there, we put out a tweet, we told people we whatever we could reach out on our WhatsApp groups, telegrams, Twitter accounts, we sent out saying that, hey, this is what they exactly said, and there's no change in the stance, right? So
Right.
it's business as usual for us,
Right.
right? And a lot of international media picked that up. So that was there on Fortune, a lot of Cointelegraph picked it up and said like how Indian media misinterpreted the entire news.
Right. I think the mainstream media should be really responsible enough for the fact that billions of people follow you. It's your responsibility that you put out the right news there.
We're always welcome to do a meetup for media, just in case they need to know how it works.
I know, but it's good. The good thing happened that now people are very much aware of the mainstream media. Now they know that let me do my own research before I actually
True.
hear anything from the in media. Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about. I think everybody will be very excited to hear your perspective on the current market scenario because most of the cryptocurrencies, like maybe Bitcoin, is down almost by 70% from its all-time high, and the total market cap has come down from 700 billion to about 430. Now it started slowly picking up because obviously there's good news coming out from SEC and CFTC. But how do you see the current market scenario occurring to? Yeah.
See, there's only one thing that I look at when it comes to Bitcoin or cryptocurrency asset market, right? Uh, that is the number of people adopting it. I have never been a price enthusiast, all right,
Yeah.
because I really do not know how the pricing
Right,
works,
right, right.
right? Because I have, in the initial days of my career, I've tried doing some sort of analysis and try to figure out, okay, this is what is going to happen. But every single time, that it was a different story, right? So price is something that it's really like people say, okay, it's gonna someone is gonna say it's gonna touch like $25,000, $50,000. Someone says, oh, it's gonna correct at $5,000, and people keep saying it's gonna correct and correct at what price?
Yeah,
And who
exactly.
determines what is the correct price?
What is the correct price exactly?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So for me, it's more about adoption, and if there is adoption, there's going to be an increase in price. I'm not going to say the barriers about it. I'm not going to say like, oh, it's going to touch so much or so much. But as with increased adoption and with increased use cases, I think yes, there should be some positivity around the pricing factor as well. As of now, I would say a lot of people, I have personally seen a lot of people buy into things without really understanding what they are.
That's the biggest worry.
Yes. So recently at a panel, someone rightly said that it's not just the quality of the ICOs and the new currencies that need to improve. It's also the quality of the investors that needs to improve.
Oh my God, that's the statement. That's the statement. I'm hearing for the first time, but I like that. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So I think that's the way things should go forward.
Right. And I think this was also mentioned in the recent parliament also, that a lot of people are not understanding the fundamentals of it and they are investing it, which is definitely would be dangerous. Because I'm sure if you don't understand the fundamentals of it, then you will do panic sell, and probably, which is not good for you, first of all, and it's also not good for the ecosystem, because then people will get an opportunity to say, okay, listen, I told you what is a bubble. You know. So yeah, so we have like 40 people watching us right now.
That's great.
That's awesome. Give this video a like, guys, and do share with your friends so that they can also attend this live. If you have any question, put this in the chat box. I will take this towards the end of the session. Great, Charan. One of the good thing that happened right now, because UNOCOIN is one of the leading Bitcoin exchange, and one of the oldest one, right?
Yes.
When it comes to any exchange, the trust factor is really, really important.
Yes.
Right? The support system and the trust factor. And in my experience, UNOCOIN has been one of those exchange wherein, it has given a lot of positivity. I have not heard, and I keep repeating this, I've not heard anyone saying that this is what happened with UNOCOIN. So that, congratulations to you on that.
Thank you.
I think you have a great customer support, and one of the good thing now is that you have definitely announced that you're going to add Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Ripple, and one more,
Stellar,
yeah. So that's a pleasure news for the Indian investors. Talk us through on that. How is the plan going and things like that?
So see, with the model that we have in place, right? We generally look at the market and then we wait for a substantial form of interest in certain currencies to even list it on an exchange. Because when you list anything on your exchange, you are, like I mentioned earlier, right? We are bringing in some sort of moral obligation onto the table, right? So we see a market being well stabilized, we see a currency getting well stabilized, and then we start listing those crypto assets on our platform. So we at some point realized that, okay, there is a huge interest amongst the Indian investors in buying crypto assets like Ethereum, Litecoin, Ripple, let's say, right? Over and over on Twitter, I got requests from people saying that, hey, please do us a favor, add Ripple, or hey, do us a favor, add up Litecoin and stuff. So based on all of that effort, we decided to incorporate this crypto assets onto our platform, right? And the other thing that I really wanted to highlight about it is that UNOCOIN was a trading platform earlier, right? And we are now moving on to an exchange model for the currencies that we have been speaking of right now. Right? The difference being that a lot of people don't understand the difference. So I'd just like to take a minute to explain the difference. So what happens in a trading platform is that the company sits on the inventory. So when you're buying Bitcoin from UNOCOIN. When you're selling Bitcoin to UNOCOIN. Right now, the model that we have with the rest of the currencies that we're launching is an exchange model where there's a buyer and there's a seller concept, and we act as a platform, right, wherein we take the fees. So there's going to be a maker fee, there's going to be a taker fee, right? Based on this, couple of good things is that, one, the price would be dictated by the masses. That's really important. The spread will drastically go down between the buy and sell. Right, and third, the fees are going to get really cheap. Because we are right now planning at keeping a maker fee at around 0.4% and a taker fee at 0.6%. Yes. So we would also have a Bitcoin also in the exchange model. At the same time, we would still continue to have a Bitcoin trading platform for quite some time, right? Post which will merge everything, and then the entire thing would come up as an exchange.
So but for now, so the moment everything else is also traded, like all the altcoins are also traded, Bitcoin will also have the same platform?
Yeah, so right now Bitcoin has a trading platform and an exchange platform as well. The moment we launch, Bitcoin will also be there on the exchange platform.
All right, that's awesome.
So the exchange platform will have Bitcoin, will have Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Ripple, and Ethereum,
Ethereum and
right?
Stellar.
Similar.
Right.
And the trading platform will have Bitcoin as it is right now.
Okay, and so I guess this is one of the best part about UNOCOIN is that UNOCOIN has a mobile application. So
Yes.
it becomes very easy for anyone to do the transaction. You don't have to log in, and of course, applications are much more easier than going onto the website. So, how do we differentiate on the app? So, will there be a two different screen for the mobile trading
No,
and
no,
the
no.
app?
So it's within the one app. It's within
Okay,
one app. It's
okay,
just going to have a centralized button for an exchange. You click on it, and it's on the exchange window. It opens
oh,
up the exchange window. So it's within the same app. You probably have to update the app,
okay, okay.
right?
That's awesome. So, oh, that's a great news. Good. So we do want to take some questions, but before that, out of all these five, I'm not sure any one of your favorite like Ethereum.
I'm not supposed to say any of that
I
because a lot of people use my opinion as investment advice. Which
yeah,
I'm
exactly,
not as-
exactly. So yeah, we do want to take some questions. So there are a lot of questions coming on. Are you adding Tron? What are the other cryptocurrencies we are adding? Let us have a look. Hi, hi Kinko, Prolad, what's up? Chances, okay, okay. So I think I have mentioned in the description below. He's Sharan Nair from UNOCOIN. UNOCOIN will be adding more cryptocurrencies. So if you have any questions, please do ask. Shiv, can you show more info on Electronium? No, no idea, guys. Okay. Mm. There are a lot of good questions on investment. So one of the question is that what's your opinion on BTC coming up in 2 months, up or down?
like I said earlier, right? For me, I'm not going to take up anything on price predictions because, see, it doesn't work. I haven't seen really anybody able to do something accurately. And if at any point of time someone was able to tell you a price and it touched it or went way beyond it, I would say they just got lucky.
Correct. That's exactly what it is. I mean, nobody can really predict the price. I mean, you can be an expert when it comes to the technology
Yeah,
part of it.
technology part of it, but nobody can be an expert in terms of price. That's and I see WhatsApp groups and
Right.
Telegram groups decide the prices,
Right.
and that's really surprises me at times.
That's really surprising. I mean, there are pump and dump groups as well, so which is very
Yes,
shocking. So since we
yes.
are talking about the pricing, Sharon, if you one advice that you had to give to the people who are investing into cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin, what advice will that be? How would you explain to somebody who is
Okay.
investing into
One of
crypto?
the basic advices that I keep telling people, because I have met enough people in life who tell me that they have put everything into crypto assets and have lost it, or some of them fortunately made it, and hence it reinforces their faith that they should put more, but that's not right. So one of the basic things that I would request everyone is to just put in the money that you can afford to lose, because investments are tricky and risky, right? It should not be a money that you require for building a home or getting somebody married, but it should rather be a money that was okay, like you invested in it, it may just go away, right? Investments are like that. That's one thing. Second thing is there's no expert out there who can tell you the price, right? I've seen enough of these people say that, hey, he said that I'm going to buy. He said that I'm going to buy. It's not like that. Third thing is please follow the actual media sources of information. Please follow the actual Twitter accounts. If you even look at UNOCOIN is a verified Twitter profile. So you know that the authentic information is coming from that particular account. That's really important. And fourth thing is stop believing in WhatsApp forwards,
Right.
because a number of times I see some crypto asset got banned in a particular country or something like that, and most of the time that's not even true.
Right, right. So of course the of course
And
you
yeah, one last thing. The most important part is security of your cryptocurrencies.
that's very that's the most
Very
important one, yeah.
Yes, that's something that people really have to be careful about. We have seen a number of people lose out their crypto assets, by not really paying more attention toward the security aspects of that.
So Sharon, would you like to talk to people about the security part of it? Because you are an exchange, but I believe you yourself would not advise anyone to hold funds in
Yes,
exchange, right? So would you be able
yes.
to, can you just talk on where should they keep the wallet and where should they park them?
I think one of the things that you could always do is use a hardware wallet or an offline wallet. That's the best thing. I would never suggest anybody to keep parking their funds with any of the exchanges, and most of the exchanges would agree with me on that, right? Because exchanges are prone to hacking. We do have our own measures to make sure that we minimize the effect, but to say that we are 100% hack proof would be unethical and wrong.
Correct. And also the whole idea of cryptocurrency is to make you your own bank.
Yes.
When you where you hold the private keys for your own funds. And if
Yes.
you're keeping your private key with an exchange, then that's not you're defeating the whole purpose of
Yes.
holding the Bitcoin and
Right.
cryptocurrencies.
Why we still do that is because a lot of people are not technically savvy enough to do all of this. So hence we continue doing that. But I think as more education spreads along people,
Yeah.
I think most people would realize how to do that.
Because you will have to do that because at least there are certain amount of fund that there has to be kept in the exchange at times when you are somebody who likes to trade. So that
True.
has, because it becomes very difficult to take it out and put it in. Then the transaction fee is already pretty high.
Yes.
So I guess that's understandable. But then almost keep at least whatever. I mean, whatever you want to park aside, don't park it in the exchange. Is what.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell us about how do you see, so obviously we heard the recent news from SEC and CFTC. We heard news from India as well, that he was the head of economic,
Secretary.
yeah, secretary, yeah.
Number of us.
So he mentioned that probably when he was asked, so he mentioned that probably this year he will be coming up with some kind of regulations this financial year. But that committee has already been set. I mean, it's been like more than a year now. They are still studying it. But do you see the regulations coming up this year? Do you see they are going to take it seriously now?
I think they're definitely taking it seriously. That's there. Is it coming soon? I do not know. There is no way I could know. But does it have to be there? Yes. If not now, then when? I do not know. Right. But the very fact that crypto assets and blockchain got a mention on the budget itself tells us that it's a serious issue, right? It's a serious thing. And I'm pretty sure that they're looking very, very seriously into it.
One good thing that I liked, they mentioned that we are going to curb the, illegitimate activities, which is,
Yes.
I think, there's a great need of that because
Yes, which is not trading. I just want to tell
which is
everybody.
not trading, of course. Trading cannot be an illegitimate activity. So what he's mentioned is basically the Ponzi schemes.
Yes.
So yeah, I was reading this morning. There were so the regulation is going to be no harm regulation. That's what they
Yes.
call in no harm, boss. You're not supposed to cheat people. You're not supposed to steal people's money. If you are causing any of these, then you're doing something illegal.
Yes.
As long as you're trading and you're paying your taxes and all things, you're good, right? But the cheating and stealing is not allowed. So I think this was a very positive move statement from the government as well. Okay, I want to take some questions. So Gaurav says,
Even
sorry, yeah,
Yeah, so even as a company, right, we
yeah,
completely support such statements, right? We,
correct,
we we definitely don't, because see, we have a moral obligation, and not
correct,
just a moral obligation to the company, but even on individual levels, nobody really wants people to get cheated, right?
correct.
At some point of time, when I was doing a lot of interactive sessions with corporates, I realized that even in these corporates, there were people who were stuck with these MLM schemes, right? And that was really surprising to me, coming because again, the education levels are high, they understand technology, they able to add rational and logic to what they see. But even then, these youngsters fall prey, because I've seen people come up to me and say, how much percent do you offer in return? And I was like, what are you talking about? And then they're like, hey, my friend has told me that you buy so much and month on month you get so much, and there's no month on month scheme, there's no buy one get one schemes.
I think that is really important. That because I have seen, right. So since we are into cryptocurrencies, so I've got myself offers like which are like ridiculous. What are
Yes.
you even talking about? What are
Yes.
you even talking? That's not what cryptocurrencies is.
Yes.
And you know what? It's at the end of the day, it's also spoiling the name of the cryptocurrency. People
Yes.
perceive it to be something else, and we had some of the examples, BitConnect and all those stuff, Ponzi schemes now getting closed. So this is very good that even US government and even Indian governments are taking it very strictly and very seriously. So Gaurav says last time media spread a FUD when there was income tax visit to exchanges, raid on exchanges. What exactly?
Yes.
So yeah, this was a very interesting. So yeah, So would you like to talk
So
on that? Because that
yes,
was, they called
so
it like a raid and this not happened,
huh,
what not.
so technically it was not a raid; it's a survey.
Yeah, it was
Right?
survey, correct.
They came to us.
Yeah,
They said they didn't distract our operations. They were not putting up cello tapes everywhere and saying, "Hey, you can't do this, you can't do that." They said, "Like, boss, we want certain information,
correct.
right? We have proper legal documents for that,
Right,
saying that the authority wants it,
right.
and would you be able to give it out?" And yes, we did, and that's it.
And
They went back.
which is right on their part, and they
Yes,
wanted certain information which was given to them. And of course,
it was as simple as that.
and yeah, thanks to media. Dear sir, just ask when Indian government collecting GST to the cryptocurrency asset. Ashil, I think you will also be able to check some chats on your phone if possible. Would you like to check?
Yeah, just looking through that.
नमस्कार, मैं एक व्यापारी हूँ और मैं बिटकॉइंस पे
Wait,
The,
I am not
these
able to
ads.
see that.
Yeah. So no problem.
Oh,
Yeah, smash that like button, guys. Smash that like button. Share this with your friends.
okay.
Is
Yes, I
UNOCOIN?
can see that. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Is
So
UNOCOIN hiring? So for all hiring, you can just put it up at hr@unocoin.com and then we can look into it.
right, right. Sanjay Arora has a question. Is UNOCOIN trying to be regulated or trying to support cryptocurrency? Of course. I mean, that's what
Yes.
I feel safe to hold UNOCOIN. That's awesome. Okay, I'm doing great. Okay, Andy Raman says, your thoughts on Segwit and Lightning Network?
I think of late, right? One of the issues that cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin had an issue was that if the basis, the intrinsic value of the entire system is based on the fact that there will be payments made on it, but we weren't seeing a lot of that because high scalability issues, transaction fees, and things like that. Once things like Segwit and things like Lightning Network comes into place, I think you will see a much more adoption and you would see a building of ecosystem. Maybe most of this would be used for settlement layers,
Right,
but even then it will be serving some purpose, and we are yet to see a purpose. And
right,
it's very important. It's very important to see a purpose.
right, right. Mm, so I think it's so one of the question that Suraj has is the price margin of buying and selling, right? So I guess
Yes.
that you already spoke about this because this is getting converted into an exchange platform. Is that right?
Yes,
So
yes. So
wherein
once we get a converted to exchange platform, the prices are decided by the users and not by the company.
exactly. So it is the user who decides the price, and then you choose the ask and bid, whatever
Yes,
price
right.
you are comfortable with. In case
Yes,
you're buying, and at the same time when you're selling, you choose what price you want to sell it off, and see if you
yes,
have a buyer. So
yes.
that's the
Not that we
price.
decide the prices now. I
Exactly.
just wanted to let people know
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that's based on some
Once,
sort of
exactly.
algorithm that we run and that we check the inventory that we have and how much we could give out and things like that.
Correct. I think that's fair because what Bitcoin is one thing that I've never seen a price to be stable in any of the exchange. For example, see, I think it's also depends on the cost of procurement, right? For
Yes.
example, South Korea has been one country where has Bitcoin has been already selling on 20%, 30%
30%, 30% premium,
premium,
yes.
and
And
they
hence when they took it up for coin market cap, the prices went down.
oh my God, that was like a shock. A lot of people actually
Yes.
sold thinking that it was a crash.
And
And the one good thing that didn't happen was coin market should have actually informed people in advance that we are actually taking, but they didn't. So that was a bad one.
the another thing is that a lot of people come up to me and say, "Hey, see this." And they take out the cell phone. They put one
Right.
Bitcoin, Indian rupees. Some price comes up. They said you are selling it way more than that.
Right.
Well, I just want to let a lot of viewers know that's not how it works. The
Right.
cost of procurement for crypto assets in India versus other countries vary.
Right.
It's not that we can buy from anywhere and sell it to you. Just like how you can't buy from a US
Correct.
exchange, we too can't,
Right.
right? So we have to completely rely on the supply that we have within the country.
Right. And I mean, I think that's the way it is. I mean, Bitcoin price always is different from exchanges to exchanges and country to country.
Yes.
When will UNOCOIN launch multi-coin? Sayed Zaim asks. So I think that's the announcement made. Any rough idea?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it should be a little sooner than most people expect.
Uh-huh.
The thing is already done. We
Okay.
just need a few more testings to go happen here and there,
Right.
and I think should be out in quite some time. I mean, I would say maybe 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks. I'm
Right.
giving a very worst case scenario.
Right. Okay. Uh, Sai Kumar says impressed by UNOCOIN. They do process smoothly.
Thank you. So when the surge happened, right? I would want to take another minute of
Yeah. Sure.
the whole thing to tell people that. So when the surge happens,
Yeah.
the volume of transactions that happens or the volume of deposit orders go up sometimes by 10x, 20x, right? And we have limited manpower, because of which it takes a lot of time for us to process this.
Right.
Now, one of the solutions perhaps maybe to hire a lot of people, but what do you do when the search comes back to normal? What do you do with so many employees?
Right.
Then we don't want something sometimes just hire and fire people, right?
Correct.
That's not how it works. So I want to thank you and at the same time apologize for all the delay, and thank you for being patient enough. And I've seen a lot of times where customers have been really supportive, where some customer is complaining and another customers reply on behalf of us saying that, hey, you need to understand that this is, and I think that in every true sense of is community building,
That's the
right?
true
Where people
sense
talk
of crypto
about you.
community. That's the true sense of crypto community. People helping each other in
Yes.
those times. Uh, I think it happened with Coinbase as well. Coinbase, US, one of the biggest exchange, they had like more than 100 million or some numbers registrations in 24 hours.
Yes.
And it's very difficult to handle those kind of surge for the
Yes.
exchanges
True.
especially.
Yes.
Raja Kaushik says, any plan to add Tron in the exchange?
So we would be adding new currencies,
Yeah.
yes, but
Okay.
that would be based on a very different strategy altogether,
Right.
right? We'll have to go through a lot of white paper, then see what kind of adoption interest exists and stuff like that. So I wouldn't be able to specifically mention the names of the coins or the duration to which they get launched. But are we open to the idea of adding more coins? Definitely, we are.
Right. I'm sure people are looking out for maybe something like Binance in India. Maybe that's too much to expect at this point in time. But I'm sure hopefully in future would be possible. Uh,
The other thing is, you see, all of this currency you're able to buy with your Indian rupees. So
right.
that's important. That's what I want a lot of people to know, right? Crypto to crypto has a different set of regulations or a different set of way you operate as compared to INR to crypto.
Correct. It has different set of rules and regulations, and also the convenience is much more when it comes to when INR can be converted into directly your crypto rather
Yes.
than
Yes.
you going via BTC and Ethereum and
Yes.
all
Because
those.
when you're doing BTC to other crypto, you're holding volatility risk in both the ends.
True. And then you're paying the transaction fee and all those stuff as well. And of course, volatility is one of the main example that you don't want to
And
deal
people
with it.
people did come up with solutions like USDT and stuff like that, but
Ah.
we kind of now know what things can go wrong with such kind of.
Honestly, I didn't like that idea. That's just my opinion. That having a tether to back up
Yes.
a fiat doesn't make sense. And I think I'm glad that it happened at this stage, so that nobody ever tries to do something like that ever in future. Uh, so one of the question here is that how much safe UNOCOIN is than foreign exchanges? What would you say on that? This is
Okay, so the thing with us right now in the trading platform is that we pretty much take care of the security and keep it as one of the most important aspects. In fact, the most important aspect of what we do at UnoCoin, right? Right now, the model what we have is we do keep a lot of customers' bitcoins offline, right? And a very small percentage of that is kept online for the day-to-day operational volumes, but most of that is kept offline. So even if the worst of the worst cases, something goes wrong, what we would have to part away is a very, very small portion of the entire lot.
oh yeah, yeah. Uh, Yeah, so this is a good question. He says the bit collection of open. He says, can you tell about the deposit withdrawal issue that was caused recently by banks?
So we didn't have that issue. I did hear about people calling. A lot of people called up and said like, "Hey, your bank accounts working fine for us." Yes, the bank accounts have been working fine. There was no issue. I don't think anybody faced an issue at UNOCOIN at least in terms of
Right.
deposit and
Okay.
withdrawals. I cannot say for other exchanges because the
True.
details are not out and they have not disclosed that.
True.
But for us, there was not really, no real issue with that.
Right. Right. Okay, if UnoCoin is hiding, guys, you'll have to check on the UnoCoin. So let me just open this up for you. So go onto this website, unocoin.com, and then you have a tag here, right? Contact info, is that right?
Yeah, you could put it up, or you could just put it up HR at unocoin.com.
Yeah,
Works fine.
hr@unocoin.com. So just put your CV there, and if there is any vacancy, you'll be informed. Uh,
Or even follow us on our LinkedIn page because
Yeah,
that's where we
do
post
follow
most of our.
UnoCoin on the Twitter account because that's where I get most of the information of UnoCoin. I can see some beautiful graphic here coming soon. UnoCoin with Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Ripple, Ethereum. It's a beautiful graphic. So, yeah. Uh, okay. In other exchanges, we can see. Okay. No, I don't think the bank. So he says that did the bank have issues? So maybe. So I can share my experience, Sharon. So I think yes, I did hear some of the articles from some of the exchanges saying that they do have some issues with the banks. So I think that is what being spoken about, wherein there was some issue with the withdrawals and deposits. So deposit used to take about 2 days and withdrawal. So I think there were some exchanges in India which had this issue. This is a good question. So Sonik Chiya, he says that may I know UnoCoin's thoughts on cryptocurrency future in India?
Most of the time, right? If you look at most of the other industries as such, you let it be cap aggregation, let it be e-commerce, it's always on the west trickle down to India. But at least at this point of time, I could very safely say that we are at par, right? The growing interest amongst the Indian customers is as par at what we see with other countries. Maybe the regulation is something that's keeping people a little bit at bay, but I think once that is sorted out, I think it's going to be huge. Also in terms of technology, right? If you look at the number of blockchain companies that's coming out of India, we are clearly doing well, right? The kind of ideas that's coming out and things like that. I think this time we got it right.
Right.
At least in all, this time we got it right.
Yeah, so basically, this was actually one of my question to you also that you being UnoCoin being the blockchain company, how does it look at India as a market compared to the other global market in terms of potential, in terms of growth in the next couple of
See, any
years?
country that is growing economically and has a huge set of population, you need a trustless system,
Correct.
right? And I think we would have more use cases for blockchain than many other developed societies have, right? Maybe we would have more use cases on the social side of it, like blockchain for social
Right,
causes,
right, right.
right? I've seen interesting projects on blockchain on how to stop human trafficking and things like that. That's really beautiful.
I'm very impressed with the Hyderabad as well, the Vizag, I guess.
Yes, yes,
Would you like to
yes.
talk about on that a little bit?
So I think I've been there, right,
Yeah.
with most of the conferences that has happened on Vizag, FinTech Valley, all that stuff. I think that to me looks like an ideal government
Right.
or ideal way of
True.
governing things, right? Not being reactive but being proactive. And I think that is a model that we will soon see everywhere. I think even the Karnataka state government, Bangalore specifically, is picking up initiatives and trying to do stuffs around blockchain. Even the finance minister mentioned that the country as such is interested in the blockchain technology and stuff. I also hope a lot of people realize that for a public distributed ledger like blockchain to run, Bitcoin is essential to it, and it's not something that you can just separate into two different parts and operate. I'm talking about specifically decentralized distributed ledgers, right?
Yeah.
That is what even the SEC recently said,
also
that
said there is
people
no
have to
blockchain
understand that
without
it's the same
Bitcoin.
thing. Yes.
They clearly said there is no blockchain without Bitcoin. Let's not ignore that fact.
Yes.
Chandan says, how to pay taxes from earning from cryptocurrencies. What do you think? It will be the CA who can advise him the best?
Yes, we wouldn't be the right people to advise. I think it would be the CA who would be able to advise, or you can actually go down to the income tax office and ask them. I think they are more than willing to help.
Exactly.
To
Right, guys.
As far as the invoices are concerned, with UNOCOIN, we'll be able to give out the invoices that tells you at what price you bought and what price you sold, and what is the kind of profit you made and over what period of time.
Correct. So definitely, when it comes to taxes, guys, get in touch with your CAs, because he is the best person, depending on what are your buying history, selling history, and things. So it is very individual decision. So. In which cryptocurrencies have you invested most? Oh, okay. Okay, this is another question. He says that people are telling that they will encourage blockchain but not crypto. How is cryptocurrency related to blockchain? I think we just covered a bit of it. But
so every time there is a distributed public ledger, like a decentralized public ledger, which means it requires individuals to be into the system to maintain the trust, right? And these individuals are not just going to come; they need to be incentivized, right? Why would somebody want to participate in something where they're not incentivized, right? So that is the exact connection between a cryptocurrency and its blockchain.
I think the Bitcoin has the best reward system right now when it comes to the trust factor and why.
Yes.
So, what is the exact date when UNOCOIN is going to add? Maybe a couple of weeks or so. I think that will be announced on Twitter, right?
Yes, but sooner than I say.
Yeah. Okay, that's awesome, guys. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Let me see if there are any good question here. Proof of stake is a scam. Okay. Is there any meetup in Pune? Well, you can always do a local meetup, I guess, guys. If you are somebody who believes in the decentralization and Bitcoin cryptocurrencies, feel free to do local meetups, invite people, and educate them. Hit that like button.
Also, for our meetups, just follow us on our Twitter page, on Facebook page. So we do put up our next meetup dates and things like that. Yeah.
I think this was so the recent meetup that you had. I think that's the best example. I mean, I can't stop talking about it. It was really, really important. It was needed, and I'm so glad that UNOCOIN did it. So, yeah. Okay, guys. So we will probably end this live. Maybe one or two more questions. I'm 15-year-old boy planning to invest in Bitcoin. What do you think? I don't think for buying Bitcoin it needs. I mean, as long as you have a bank account, you can buy a Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Right. So the standard procedure remains same. You have to do the KYC on the exchange and start buying.
When if you do the KYC, yes, you can buy.
Right.
If you're asking me if I should or if I should not buy, then I do not know.
Exactly.
It's something that you should figure out.
Okay, guys. I think that's it. Thank you so much, Sharon, for taking the time out and coming on this live session. I'm sure people would have enjoyed. Hit that like button, guys. Okay, Soniki Chiria says, Dear UNOCOIN, would you like to launch your own coin also?
No, we're not looking at that right now. I mean, see, it's not just about launching a coin, right? What most people fail to understand is that it's not the coin, but what it does is important. And when we figure out what it does and we figure out that it adds value to the system, yes, we would. But right now, we don't see that.
Exactly. I mean, this is the weird part, right? That this guy is coming up with the coin, this guy is coming up with the coin. Let's buy. But for what? Why does that coin exist? What's the utility of the coin? And yeah, it's not like a commodity that you start selling people just because it's hot, just sell.
Yes.
Great. Thank you so much, Sharon, for
Sure.
being here on the Crypto Conversation. Before we wrap up, any message, anything that you would like to share with the viewers?
Yeah. So two things. One, the security part of it. Please read more about. If you're spending time on buying crypto assets, also spend time and figure out how to keep it secure. That's one thing. Second, always follow very authentic source of information. Check out with go follow the exchange pages, because the thing with exchanges is that they will not give you speculative news. They'll tell you what it is, right?
Right.
Because we don't work on basis of what media reports. We work on basis of what notices are being sent to us.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And until and unless the notice is not sent to us, then it doesn't mean anything at
Yeah.
all.
So the best way is actually follow the Twitter accounts actually,
Yes,
because
yes.
that is
We're
where
very active with Twitter, yes,
you get the true news from the exchange and not a third party talking on behalf of the exchange.
yes.
That can just go haywire. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining on the live. We have, okay, great. And thank you so much, Sharon, for being here. It was my
Sure.
pleasure to
It's a
have you.
pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Take care. See you.
Sure.